Thanks for clicking on to the Saturday evening edition of Vogan's European Outlook. The heat has been relentless. It has been day after day. People in the British Isles certainly not accustomed to these kind of warm temperatures. And the good news is we are about to end all this if you don't like the heat. These were the high temperatures yesterday across the British Isles. Notice here that the eastern flank of the British Isles, 14 degrees in Wick. We had 19 in Dundee. We had temperatures even of only 19.7 in Marham in Norfolk here. Core of the heat was to the west, where we still had mid to high 20s, 25 in Glasgow, 28 in Prestwick. Another day of 30 plus in Castlederg in Tyrone. And this afternoon we're seeing temperatures ever so slightly cooler. And it's all of an easterly transition in terms of temperature. These are the current temperatures. We had a 27 in the West Highlands today. We had a 27 or 28 in western parts of Northern Ireland once again. But certainly much fresher, cleaner air coming in off the North Sea. And I'm sure folks in this part of the world is not disappointed to see that. Now, this is looking at the surface chart here. Messy conditions across the near continent, northern France, even in the southern portions of the British Isles. We had heavy thunderstorms erupt through the Saturday morning and into the afternoon period. And we're going to see that continuing through the rest of this afternoon, this evening, and indeed even the overnight period here. The area of high pressure gradually starting to move away to the north. That is going to open the door to this area of low pressure moving in to replace that high, and we're going to see showers, thunderstorms becoming more widespread and lifting northwards as pressure starts to drop. And with the pressure dropping, we also see the temperature dropping as well. So you can see here as I skip through the upcoming several days, that area of low pressure moves north over the North Sea, creates instability. We still have incoming solar radiation, of course, warming the temperatures up. And of course, as you heat the land and with pressure lower in the mid and upper levels, you of course increase the upward motion and the lapse rate, which triggers those showers and thunderstorms. So certainly a breakdown, and we're going to see that continuing throughout the course of the week. As you can see, that low kind of hangs on over the British Isles here and then kind of rotates in place as we go through the remainder of July. So you can see here, this is the GFS ensemble here. So this is all members of the model, and you can see what exactly is taking place. That area of high pressure moves north, and along with that comes the low pressure, and it becomes the dominant player over the British Isles through the remainder of the month. And you can see here it kind of leans in a positive tilt, British Isles towards Scandinavia here, and it kind of hangs around, which is very interesting as well. You can see here off the CFSV2, this is the 7-day means, and we'll have a look at pressure before we look at precipitation and temperature. Week 1 looks like this here. Low pressure, the dominant player. Week 2, similar to what we've seen off the GFS ensemble, leans between the UK up towards Scandinavia. Even week 3, you notice here that low pressure is dominating, and this of course takes us out to the period all the way out to the 7th to the 14th of August here. So yeah, low pressure is going to become the dominant player by the looks of it here. Precipitation wise, well, we've not seen an awful lot over the last month or so, especially across northern portions of the British Isles. This is how it looks. Precipitation anomaly upcoming 7-day period, then the 8 to 14. Notice here a lot of the rain now starting to focus on the areas that have been driest, hottest this summer so far. Then even week 3, which takes out the period 7th through the 14th, wetter than normal across the UK and across a good chunk of Northern Europe. And that is good news, folks, in terms of weather and also cooler. Finally, looking at the 2-meter temperature anomalies, CFSV2, very warm across the central and eastern portion of the continent here. Kind of average across the British Isles, as you can see. Then we skip to week 2. Just look at that. We've not seen that in a wee while. Of course, April and May were so cold. Just seems like a distant memory now, doesn't it? Then even as we go towards the period 7th through the 14th, average to slightly below average across the UK. Then we'll perhaps start to warm things up. But all in all, folks, I think we're starting to lean towards a cooler, wetter August. And I think many parts of the British Isles will be glad of that, of course. Heat stress has been quite apparent, I think, across many portions of Western Europe in the last week or so. And that should hopefully start to ease as we move in towards August. I hope you have a great evening, and I'll be back in the next couple of days, as always, with more. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the subscribe button, as well as like the video, and I'll keep you up to date. Bye for now.